Hey guys, I hope all is well. Welcome to the Profit Minutes channel. My name is Alex, and in today's video I have an extensive crypto outlook for you. And trust me, you're going to want to stick until the end of this. But before we start, remember to like this video if you find this type of content useful, and subscribe for more content like this. Alright, so let's go on Involio, which if you guys don't follow me, make sure that you do, guys. This is the main social media that I use at the moment. Everything crypto, everything trading related will be on this platform. So if you haven't already, man, shout out to Involio. Make sure that you go and follow me over here. Okay, so yesterday I basically made this post right here saying I won't short it because I need a wide stop loss right now, but I'm pretty confident Bitcoin will drop to 56 next. Not financial advice. Then I also said, if I'm wrong, but I'm confident, even though it does not make sense for me to be short in this. Screenshot it if you want, I won't delete it in case I'm wrong. Also, then I made a correction. It's not specifically 56, but it's starting. My very conservative target for this retracement is 58K. And you're going to understand why I'm looking towards this possibility right here. And with that being said, another thing that I've done today is basically make this post right here, which is basically me selling 50% of my biggest altcoin bag. And you do as you wish with this information, as obviously it's never financial advice. You have to make your own decisions, and I'm just here to help and tell you what I basically see on the charts. And from what you can already tell, maybe, I am not a type of person that basically tells you, oh yeah, we are bullish, we're already bullish, bull season, old season, buy, or you're going to stay poor. I'm not like that. I'm a very rational person when it comes to this stuff. And the first advice that I want to give to everyone, especially to the new people, is don't fall for this kind of traps. The way that you actually make money in this market is by looking at both sides of the coin, right? So you want to stay neutral. You don't want to be bullish or bearish. You need to be positioned in order to win regardless of market conditions. Do you have a plan in case a dump happens, or even a crash? Do you have a plan for that? Because if you don't, I'm telling you from previous experiences, you're going to regret it. So make sure that you have a plan of what you're going to do in case the market keeps pumping, and also have a plan in case the market doesn't pump and something unexpected happens. Okay, so what I'm going to show you is basically what I see on the charts. There's nothing going to be hidden. We're going to have a rational look at Bitcoin and other stuff that I have planned for you guys. Okay, so the first thing that I want to show you guys is that obviously at the time that I'm making this video, we're currently going towards the all-time high. This is the Kraken chart if I'm not mistaken, and today we have hit 67K. Okay, so we are basically $2,000 away from the all-time high, and it's a crucial thing to understand that that basically what this is doing is obviously luring people into buying crypto, which is not necessarily a bad thing, but at the same time you want to be really careful, because when the market is overly too optimistic, that's when you can expect something to possibly happen. Okay, I'm not saying that it has to happen necessarily, but as I said before, you really want to have a plan for this. Okay, so the first thing that I wanted to show you, and there's a bunch of stuff that I have in my chart, because this chart right here is the chart that I showed to my premium members, and there are some things that you may not understand. There are some things that may scare you while looking at this chart, but it's for giving me an overall projection of possibilities on both sides. So the first thing that I want to show you guys is this. If I go on the 2017 bull run, okay, the all-time high of the previous bull run, which is 2013, unless this chart has some data that is currently missing, is that, as you guys can see, what happened after we've taken the all-time high, we have dumped 32%. Now, This could also be considered. The reason why I'm not considering this, even though it's basically the same percentage and this should not be ignored, the reason why I'm choosing not to really consider this is because in our case, we didn't really have this yet. And we are pretty much near all-time highs. I would say that we are around here, okay? So we haven't really seen this dump yet. And you know, when you look at the monthly on Bitcoin, before I proceed, like you need to understand that how long is this going to keep on going up without a retracement? Because every month that goes by and goes up only, it increases the risk of a downside movement. And it has been 3, 4, 5, 6, potentially 7 months in a row of just green, okay? So you really want to keep in mind that there is still a possibility of us going down. And of course, I'm going to give you guys perspectives, my perspective on both bullish sides and bearish sides. But let me start with this. Then we move forward and we go to the last bull run, okay, the 2021 bull run. And in this case right here, of course, we had the Black Swan event. So the price action is a little bit different. We had this dump, which was a 62% dump, right? And it was not at the all-time highs, okay? As you guys can see, we just basically kept on going up. But still, we had a dump, okay? And as you guys can also tell, considering that we have bottom here, we were going up towards the all-time high, and then we started dumping. And then, of course, we started moving up and creating the new all-time high. But what I'm trying to say is that we had a dump, we had a retracement, and so far, guys, we don't have that, right? So if you want to have an understanding of the possible retracement that we may have, you need to do this. Basically, what I do is use the Fibonacci. And as a rule of thumb, what you want to do with the Fibonacci is when basically, as you guys can see, from bottom to the top of this range right here, we never really retrace it to the golden pocket. So what you want to do when you see a Fibonacci that does not get filled and price keeps on moving in the trend's direction but does not retrace to the golden pocket, you want to extend to the next high. Has it done it yet? No. Has it done it here? No. So what you're going to do is basically keep on moving this up until eventually the retracement happens. Because what this is going to do is basically line up the Fibonacci to the current possible retracement, which right now the golden pocket starts at $35,000 and 364. Okay, so oh my bad, and it ends around 26,400. Am I saying that this is necessarily a possibility? Look, it can be argued. We could still keep on going up without this retracement happening. But you want to keep this scenario in the back of your head because you never really know what's going to happen. And as of now, it is still a possibility because had you done that in the previous bull run? Have a look. Here, the Fibonacci was filled, as you guys can see. We had our move up. For my smart money concepts traders, what is this? This is an MSS, okay? Market structure shift. We have retraced to the golden pocket and then we were able to move up. So where is the next golden pocket? You do the same thing as I've shown you before. As you guys can see, we made a new high, but no retracement here happened. Same thing here. So you basically have to move it to the high, okay? To the last side, because as you guys can see, look closely what happened afterwards. We have eventually retraced to the golden pocket, okay? So the 618 is the first level and the last level on my Fibonacci is 79%. As you guys can see, we found perfectly support at 79%. Granted, we had a couple of weeks lower, but that does not matter. Okay, as you guys can see, the retracement effectively actually happened afterwards when people thought that we're just going to keep on going up, which is exactly the sentiment that we have right now. So you need to keep this in the back of your head. Now, another thing that I wanted to show you before I go into even more details is that look, my smart money traders, what is this? What we had last time to create this new all-time high was basically a run on buy-side liquidity. Then we had the reversal, okay? And so far, to my knowledge, we have no sell-side liquidity being hit except for this, okay? This and this were the only sell-side liquidities that have been hit. So the next point, obviously, if you want to have a look at the next sell-side liquidity, that should be it. Of course, it's down below 10K. Now, I know that some people are going to be like, what? Are you crazy? We are almost at $70,000. How can you even be looking at 10K? Look, I am a rational person, as I said before. I look at every single possibility. Does it have to happen right now? Absolutely not. But this is the stuff that you need to be aware of, because the chart is proposing it. It's not like I'm saying, look, we have to go to 10K now, or else whatever. I'm just talking about the technical stuff. I'm treating every single chart exactly as any other chart. It's not because it's Bitcoin then it's sacred, then that only up can be considered, and any downside scenario is FUD. That is BS. That is the BS that most people are selling you. For example, people in my premium group, they know that I've cut this bottom right here, okay? Because there's a lot of stuff that before Involio, I just wasn't saying out loud because I didn't really focus on having a platform before. But I have proof of actually calling out the bottom. And how did I know that the bottom was potentially in? It's because this is a breaker. My smart money concept traders, they know what I'm talking about. So this is how I was able to find the support right here, okay? So now what I see is that even if we do move to the upside and actually create a new all-time high, I have no confirmation of this actually being an actual bull run for Bitcoin specifically, because in order for it to be an actual bull run, we need to first of all make a new all-time high, and then we need to find support in this rectangle right here, because this rectangle right here, what it basically shows is the current resistance that we have left. And if this gets broken, you really need to look for a support if you want to see Bitcoin going up. Now, does this affect necessarily the altcoins? No, because if Bitcoin makes a new all-time high, chances are that the altcoins are also going to be making all-time highs, and we're going to be talking about the altcoins as well, okay? But like specifically for Bitcoin, you really need to find support in this area here if you're going to break the all-time high right now. Okay, this is crucial, and I believe that anyone can agree on this, because if you don't find support over the all-time high, you don't have enough structure. And even if you keep on going up, but you don't retest the support, eventually it's going to be retested. And then you'll know if it's actually moved to the upside or if it's going to break down and go potentially into a new bear market, okay? So until this gets invalidated, what I just said right now, I'm sorry to say, but for what I see right now, and again, I'm not taking a bearish perspective because that is not the point, but from a technical perspective, this is a mere retracement, okay? The retracement gets invalidated after you take the initial point from which you're measuring the retracement, okay? As you can see right now, we are not doing that yet. We are, of course, en route to possibly do this, but right now we are not doing it. And another thing that I wanted to show you guys is this. So if I go on the daily, as you guys can see, I have these trend lines right here. These trend lines right here are basically points in the chart that were broken and that right now are being revisited. What you need to understand about trend lines is that once they're broke, you want to look for a confirmation. And how do you look for a confirmation? You want to see how price behaves after the retracement of the trend lines that have been broken. So considering that we do not have only one trend line, but not even two, but three trend lines, what I do is basically consider this whole area right here as resistance. And as we keep on going up, for example, let's say that we close the daily candle above this first trend line. I want to see it act as a support, and then we move to the next checkpoint. And I want to see this do the same thing that it's possibly going to do on the first trend line. If this does not happen, this area right here is a mere resistance, okay? And you need to keep on doing this until you get to this trend line right here, okay? Because it has not been retested, especially these first two. Okay, so if you want to see a new all-time high, again, it is not possible, but there is also a chance that we maybe get like to like $72,000, and then we start retracing hard. That's a possibility, because what will that do is basically make people FOMO and say, oh, so this bull run is for real, it's for real, it just broke the new all-time high even before the halving. Look, if if we don't get a retracement, the next retracement is going to be very, very painful, especially for the altcoins, and then we're going to be talking about the altcoins. But the next thing that I wanted to show you is the CME futures chart, because this is a chart that most of you probably are not watching, especially the newbies, okay? This chart, what it does is basically show you the volume imbalances, the gaps, okay, that the chart eventually needs to recoup. How do gaps work? Essentially, when you see a gap, for example, this one right here that has just been filled last week, eventually you want to see price trade in both directions of the gap. For example, what happened here? If I go back to this point right here, as you guys can see, there was this gap right here, and the next candle, what it did is close bearish and cover the whole gap to the downside. And what are we seeing right now is a closure above, which is bullish, of course. So a bullish close above the gap. So this gap right here has now been filled. So to the upside right now, there are no more gaps left on the weekly. But on the downside, look at how many gaps there are. And you cannot just ignore this stuff because price is going up. Price going up with no retracement, for any reasonable trader, it's a scary thing to see. Okay, you may not like this, and the reason why you may not like this is probably because you're not positioned correctly. You may be jumped in too late, you may be jumped into the wrong coins, which have already moved. So every single possibility of going down basically hurts you down, deep down. And that's a mere result of a bad position, because if you were positioned correctly, right, not only will you be able to take profits, but you will have another chance to increase your positions to the downside. Chances are, if you're new, you already put on all your money expecting an old season, because you are all these gurus and stuff like that tell you that it's just going up, and then you see prices actually moving up and you say, oh, so this time is actually the time I'm going to be making money, when the truth is no one really knows. Okay, no one really knows, because even if we are currently moving up, we still have a lot of work to do. Okay, I'm trying to tell you as it is. I'm a person that does not bullshit you. I don't want to tell you stuff just to get I don't know, likes and stuff from you. I don't really care about that stuff. I'm just here to provide you with actual facts that most people are not showing you. Okay, now there are so many gaps that can be revisited here, like for example, we have gaps all the way down to around $4,000. Okay, I know it sounds absurd, especially if it's the first time saying this stuff. You're probably shocked. You're probably saying this guy's full of shit, but you know, you do you. I just play things the way I see it. Okay, and so far it has been playing out good, and yeah. So CME still proposing potentially some more downside. Again, it doesn't have to happen right away. Okay, but just know that even if we make a new all-time high, I wouldn't listen to the people telling stuff like, oh, we'll never see these prices again, buy the dip now because you're never going to see it again, blah, blah, blah. Bro, these people have been saying every single time the same thing on every single other cycle. This cycle is not different, okay? Oh, but the institutions, bro, do you even know how the ETFs work? Do you know that the institutions are buying up the Bitcoin on behalf of the clients? They do not make money off the Bitcoin, they make money off the fees, just like an exchange does. The only thing that the institutions are doing is basically ease up the process of buying Bitcoin. Okay? It's basically like 50, 60-year-olds that cannot buy crypto because they don't know how an exchange works. Okay? It's people like that are buying these ETFs. Okay? It's not like 20-year-olds or like there's no benefits for a person that knows how to buy Bitcoin to be buying ETFs. Okay? That's my stand on that. Now, let's move to the dominance, because the dominance is going to be playing a very crucial role towards the alt season, which I'm pretty sure it's what 99% of you are here for. And of course, I'm obviously also expecting an alt season, but the way I'm expecting it may be a little bit different from your expectations. Okay, so this is the projection that I was giving out to my paid members, and it's exactly what is currently playing out. We had this trend right here acting as a resistance, as you guys can see, and we have also been staying in this range right here. It has been quite a long range, and I've projected this range ever since we had this high right here and this low right here. Ever since I set it up this range, as you guys can see, we moved up, but we stayed within it. Then we actually retraced, which is exactly what I wanted to see, which gave us somewhat of a push up to the altcoins. But right now, as you guys can see, the dominance is going up. We are currently breaking out of this current range. Where does the breakout actually happens? It happens after we hit 55.26% and we actually move higher, okay? And currently we are on route to do this because it's exactly what I was expecting things to fold like, okay? My target is at the very least is 58%, but I'm actually looking towards the 60%, okay? Because once we get there, we will have enough fuel to actually create an alt season, okay? And during this move up, what I'm expecting is either Bitcoin pumps very hard, that basically takes out liquidity from the altcoins, or either we dump hard, which is exactly what I'll be showing you previously, right? And during the dump, if Bitcoin dumps 20% or 30%, as I've showed you before, it can happen. Of course, you need to at least double the percentages on altcoins, especially the lower caps. Like if, for example, let's say Bitcoin dumps 20%, right? And you see, I don't know, XRP drop 40%, right? On low caps, you're probably going to see like 60, 70% or stuff like that, okay? It's very, very possible. But that should not scare you. That should be an opportunity for you to be buying, okay? You're supposed to be taking profits when the profits arrive so that you can reposition on the next opportunity. That's how you capitalize on stuff like this, okay? Now, if I go back on Bitcoin, let me show you the short-term possibilities, because right now, as you guys can see, we are retesting this trend right here and we are currently facing resistance. Now, granted, I have 5 hours and 15 minutes more to go, so of course things can change, we can close to the upside and whatnot, but right now it's acting as resistance. So what I want to do is basically take this low right here, which could also be this low right here, to be honest, but I'll stick to this and I'll show you why. And moved my Fibonacci from low to high, okay? And now we got the golden pocket, which actually resides between 57 to 54. And this is the very minimum retracement that I will be expecting, even though there is obviously this possibility of going back to the 35. So I know it's absurd until it's not. And a reason why I'm still looking to possibly get to at least the 57Ks and whatnot, it's because this is it's currently in a range. Now we have broken out outside of the range, yes. However, when you see an high and low do this kind of stuff, which happened during the last liquidation event, you got to understand that if we break to the upside first, chances are we are going to be breaking down to the downside first, and then potentially move to the upside. Okay, this is completely valid. Okay, now you may say, well, we have been moving up quite a bit from a normal range. If you go on the daily, it's actually not like that at all, because the last move to the upside, the range was basically broken today. So we may have like a bullish Monday to open up the week. People that know, people that actually know how this stuff works, they know that Mondays can be a fake move. Okay, and we may even see some bearishness tomorrow. Okay, that's completely possible. If we go back tomorrow, which is not exactly a requirement, but that would even solidify even more my my stance on this. If we close back, if we go back tomorrow inside this range and possibly close inside of it, boys, wrap up, because I think that these targets are next. The very minimum point, I think it's going to be 56k. I said 58 on Involio, basically because this is a spot chart on Kraken, so other charts are a little bit different. So the very minimum for me it's 58, but there is a possibility of going lower to around 56, if not even a little bit lower. Okay, now what we are going to do is go on Ethereum, because Ethereum, of course, it's in a similar situation to Bitcoin. Obviously it's lagging behind, but it's kind of similar, because what are you going to see on Ethereum is that right now, look, we have actually just peaked above the last swing high, which is exactly what Bitcoin has done. Granted, it has gone up a little bit more, because the swing high that I was looking for on Bitcoin was this, and then it kept on going up higher. Can Ethereum do the same thing as Bitcoin? Yeah, it's a possibility, but right now, from what I can see, is that we are probably going to hit 3600 for Ethereum, which is a nice target to be having. I think it makes sense with the swing high right here. I don't think it has it right now, but yeah, we are pretty close to the target. And even if we break, you need to understand that right now we have a bearish golden pocket in the cards. Okay, so I don't know, we may face resistance down here on Ethereum, and either way we may need to find support above this previous golden pocket right here, because this was initially acting as resistance, then the resistance broke, but we never retested as support. So I think revisit to 3000s may be necessary. Talking about percentages, from the current high, it's basically just a 16% drop. Not that much. I think we may go lower, but it may be a little bit too early to say on Ethereum. Okay, Ethereum, I'm just gonna wait on my stance, but right now just know that it's probably going to be facing some resistance down here. Okay, I mean right here, not down here, but like, yeah. Now let's have a look at the totals. Okay, the totals, very similar stance on the total charts. What I will say is that, as you guys can see, even here we are in a golden pocket. Okay, so right here we may be facing resistance. There is also still a chance that we stay here, maybe break out a little bit more just to take out the swing high. That's a possibility, but we will still be staying inside of this bearish golden pocket. Same thing as Bitcoin. This has been moving up non-stop. A retracement will be taking us to around this area. At the very least, I want to see this trend line right here being retested, because as you guys can see, when we broke through the trend lines, here we found support on the first one. On the second one, we haven't yet. We have just broken out to the upside, but the more time passes, the more this trend line will eventually need to be retested. The same thing happened to this trend line right here. As you guys can see from this low right here, we have broken out. Okay, we have moved up to the upside, but we never retested it. Now, if we were to retest it today, which is it's not what I'm saying, it will take us to exactly the 61.8%. Okay, and of course, if we do it like tomorrow, for example, no, actually next week. Let's assume that we do it next week. The target is pretty much going to stay around this area, but it's going to be moving up a little bit because the more time passes and the more the target can change with trend lines. And in this case, the target will be just a little bit more up every single week that passes, and we haven't retested this trend line. So I'm not saying that we have to retest it right now, but just know that this trend line right here is still outstanding. So there is a possibility of us trending back down to it. If we break this trend line, guys, man, I hope that we don't, but you also need to keep on considering this stuff because it's a possibility. As you guys can see, every single time we have retested this trend line right here, we have actually created a bull run. This has not happened yet, okay? As you can see, this trend line right here, it's outstanding. Every single time we have retested it as support, we have been able to move up, okay? And this trend line, it's not a new trend line, guys. It's a trend line from 2017, as you can see. This is where we found support, where we actually closed back to during the COVID lows, okay? And where eventually we need to go back down to, okay? Food for thought, I guess. Now, total 2. As you guys can see, it's very similar to Ethereum, and this is because this total market cap excludes Bitcoin, okay? Now, this chart is very interesting. Of course, very similar to Ethereum, so I'm not going to be repeating the same stuff, but we have relative equal lows right here, okay? And what do you see right here, guys? My SMC traders, you know what this is. It's a low that is way too clean. And what happens to lows that are way too clean? They eventually get invalidated because the market knows that people put their stop losses below. So they know that there's liquidity down here, okay? So, just know that this is a possibility. We may still retest these lows or even create new lows. I'm not saying that has to happen, but you know, it's a possibility. We still have a chance of just retracing to this downside right here, which is very good because that may be enough to keep on going higher. And just know that if we don't retest the trend lines, because the same trend line that I showed you on total 1 can be found over here. It may be a little bit different, but either way, it's the same trend lines that the other chart proposed, okay? So we don't necessarily have to hit them right away. It may be a target for the next bear market, okay? I just want to get that out there. But this retracement right here, from this low right here, or even if you want to be extremely conservative, this golden pocket right here, I believe, may still be revisited, okay? And do as you wish, guys, with this information. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just telling you what I see and what I'm playing based on the charts that I see, okay? Total 3, okay? So this chart excludes the market cap of Bitcoin and Ethereum. Over here, we are also in a golden pocket, as you guys can see. This whole level right here, area, more than levels, but okay, so this whole area right here acts as a possible resistance. If we break to the upside, you want to retest it as support, and then we can look at the next target. But as of now, it may still close right here and find resistance down here, okay? So this is especially for our altcoins. You shouldn't be scared with this. Like, honestly, there's a reason why on Involio I clearly show that I'm still 44% cash, especially after selling 50% of my biggest altcoin bag. And most people may say, oh, you're sidelined, oh, you're not bullish enough. Dude, 55% of my money is in altcoins. Do you know how much money that is? Well, of course you don't, but trust me, I have more than enough to just keep on going up if we want to move up, okay? Trust me on that. But if we move down, I have that much capital right here, that can be reinvested. So, you know, that's the best thing about playing both sides. I really cannot lose. If we keep on moving up, I make more money. If we go to the downside, I make even more money. So that's how I believe you guys should be playing this, especially the newbies, guys. Don't get flooded by people that are not profitable and tell you BS just to get a couple followers more. Like, honestly, that's kind of cringe. So that's a possibility. There is also a chance that just like Bitcoin, we first move to the upside and take out the swing guy before considering retracement. And even if that will be the case, as you guys can see, the retracement levels is still lying around this area. So that's a possibility. Guys, I'm going to show you the orders chart and the orders dominance, and that's going to be wrapping up this video. And I also have a couple of surprises, so stick until the end. I'm not going to be looking at individual altcoins, simply because a lot of coins look the same except for the AI coins. And right now I'm not really taking altcoin requests, but if you guys want an altcoin video with your requests, make sure to comment down below. You know, let me know that you guys want this stuff. Now, what do I see on the orders chart? As you guys can see, trend line that was previously broken during this push to the downside has just been retested. Now, what do you see? That right now, as of this week, we have retested, we went to the upside here, and then we started going back down. You need to note this stuff. You need to notice it, okay? This is why I believe that taking profits right now, it's not a bad idea. And essentially this whole area right here, it's potentially resistance, and unless something crazy happens that we actually manage to close it to the upside right here and find support, I'm still going to be thinking this is resistance. And obviously, again, if it gets invalidated, guys, so what? I make more money. It's not like I really care, but again, this is the targets for a possible retracement. We have this current trend lines. Okay, these two trend lines right here, that is current support. There is a chance that we may revisit it. There is a chance that there is not. But in case we do, you know where to find support, okay? And if we break this trend line, oh, this is going to be scary. We're obviously going to be making new lows, and we're probably going to be finding support on this trend area here. Am I saying that this is a requirement? Absolutely not. This could be just a place where we retrace to in the next bear market, okay? I just want to put that out there. Now, let's go to the orders dominance. The dominance of our beloved altcoins, excluding the top 10. As you guys can see, there is a trend array here that is currently acting as resistance. Now, there is obviously a chance that we go to the upside right here, and then we are met with the same fate. Or there is also a bullish possibility where we break to the upside. We initially find resistance here, then we find support on the broken trend line, and then we keep on trending up, possibly find support, and then that's how we climb up. That's a possibility. But right now, for what I see, and obviously what you guys can see, is that it's acting as resistance. So I'm going to trade it as such. And obviously there is two trend lines right here that are currently in play. So this place right here is currently resistance to my eyes, okay? And obviously, if we break down from here, the dominance is going to be decreased, which is exactly why I'm telling you that Bitcoin dominance still has more to go. This chart just validates my theory even more, in my opinion, okay? We're looking down, and if we were to do it this week, again, I'm not saying that it's going to, we're probably going to be dropping dominance by 68%. 68% is obviously not the downside for the altcoins. I don't think that's how this chart relates to altcoin prices, but in terms of dominance, the support right here is the trend lines right here, okay? Obviously, we have other trend lines that acts support. So essentially, this whole area right here is where we find support in case of a dump, okay? So again, you guys do as you want with this information. Now, for people that have been contacting me on Involio regarding my private trades, my portfolio, the altcoins that I hold, and for mentorship. If you haven't already, make sure to DM me. I'm going to go through all your requests. There's a reason why I haven't answered. As you can see, I have a lot of messages that need to be answered. There is a reason why I haven't answered yet, and it's because I'm trying to take everything to Involio. It's going to take a little bit of time, I think, but if you want to be in line for when my mentorship opens back up, or even the trades and the portfolios, to make sure that you guys, obviously never financial advice, but to make sure that you guys can maximize your profits in the bull run and alt season, then if you're interested, make sure to hit me up. And obviously, let me know your thoughts about this video. I'm happy to do more of these if you guys want them. Also, do you guys want a challenge done live? Do you guys want to see how I flip the money in a bull run? Okay, we could do like even $10,000 to, I don't know, to whatever amount by the end of the alt season. But I think that that's very unrelatable to people, especially to the newbies. So we could do even lower amounts, even $1,000 or even $100 if people are very low on budget, just to give them a realistic perspective of what can be done with their amount of money that they have. And yeah, everything will be recorded live. So if that's something that you guys want, make sure to comment down below. I read all your comments. Make sure to subscribe so you never miss out on another video like this. And I think I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.